Welcome, 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 everybody. How y'all doing, man? So this is going to be a quick impromptu. I'm trying to wait till people to come in. This is DERELL. I'm going to be broadcasting with Jamal Johnson. This is a quick sector. I know this is like last minute shit, but it happens the way it happens. No music, no nothing or whatever. I'm just going to have a discussion. If anybody has a channel, I would love for you to share this video out. Once again, this is DERELL, DERELL Life Solutions, DERELL at DERELL Live, DERELL, the DERELL sector. I'm getting ready to have an interview with Jamal Johnson, and it is as written as it relates to Lenon honor. As we speak right now, brother Jamal is here. How you doing, brother? Good to see you. It's been a long time since you've been on the live with me. It's been years, man, actually, and it's not necessarily in the best of circumstances, but I understand there's some things that you would like to talk about, and some things that you want to get off your chest and give your message out. So kind of tell me, things that, what you've been experiencing, what's been going on, what's been affecting you, and we can go from there.
Well, I'll just get to the point. This message in this conversation is directed to Lenon Honor, who's a YouTube content creator and obviously someone who has done years of research and commentary on my son, but also on my family and myself. And I think it's gotten to a point where he needs to concentrate on my son if he chooses to do so. And I'm sure my son can handle that, but he needs to exclude myself and my family from his conversation. We
Okay.
had nothing to do with the issues, even though he's trying to link it all together. Now, I'll give a little backstory about this. Some years ago, I did come on the internet, social media, to try to dissuade my son of some of his controversial and inflammatory statements about different things.
Right.
Not to bash him, but I was addressing the content that he made. Needless to say, it blew up into more than it should have been, mainly from the people who follow him, who I guess like this salacious type of stuff. But I was very serious in what I was doing. I was not trying to in any way demean him, but I was addressing his content. As a result
Right.
of that, of course, I entered into the space that many of you are familiar with and that I was very much a novice in at the time I did it. I
Right.
have since truly regretted that. And I wouldn't be on here now if I didn't feel it was an extreme situation. Lenon Honor has addressed my son on what he has done and what he's accused of doing. He has misconstrued statements I've made. He's made narratives about me and my family which are totally untrue, which he cannot validate. He makes up scenarios based on dates and times and places. He does not have the accurate information because he's not talking to myself. And if he's talking to anyone who thinks they know me or is related to me, then they don't have accurate information. Um, One thing he said recently, let me say this. I believe this, I'm positive. I'm 99.9% positive I've heard him call me a bitch at least once. Uh, I know he's called my son a bitch many times.
Yes, he has.
He's
I've
called me
never
a,
heard you anything, but I have heard him
I'm,
say speak ill of your son. But you
I'm
did
sure he,
express that to me. But I'm gonna let you go ahead and explain that.
yeah, I'm sure he called me a bitch at least once. I actually started going through some of his old stuff to try to find it, but that's just hours and hours and hours of hearing him, and I don't want to do that. But the bottom line is this. He has called me a liar repeatedly. He has accused me of doing things I did not do, never did do, never would do. He's included this unfortunate situation that's currently going on with my granddaughter and my son and inflamed that to levels that it should not have gone to as it relates to me and my family. And we've spoken in the past. And he says his justification for all this is because I told my son he was related to Frederick Douglass. I don't see how me stating that one statement causes me to be involved in every video that he makes in a disparaging way towards me, my son, and my family. That has nothing to do with the issues that are on the forefront and are extremely controversial today. I will say this only because he says this is the main reason why he's doing it. My son had stated many times that we are related to Frederick Douglass. I wanted to ascertain that once and for all. So some years ago, I took a DNA test by Ancestry.com for $99. There was another gentleman who had also taken a DNA, who is a direct descendant of Frederick Douglass. His profile, my profile, did not perfectly match up. As a
Okay.
result, neither one of us being experts in the field, he came to the conclusion we were not related. I piggybacked on that conclusion based on just what we read in black and white.
Okay.
I came back being transparent and stated what I saw and what I concluded. But I also stated at the end, which I have a copy, even though Lenon Honor thinks I don't, I have a copy of what I wrote. I said if I found out that anything was different, I would make it publicly known. Since that time, I've spoken to my family, my extended family, and the family of which we have family reunions, in which we have a family book, in which we are also in museums for our linkage to Frederick Douglass lineage, which the gentleman who who disclaimed our relationship to them, he's very aware of my family. He's very aware of our reunions. He has been actually physically in touch with some of my extended family members of the Bailey Cason family. So it's not like this was pulled out of the air, and people can research it for themselves. Based on the doubt that has arisen from all this, I spoke to other people about genealogies, and they have told me emphatically that Ancestry.com is not the ultimate authority on DNA results. There is a science to this. And unless you take that science, which I believe there's a gentleman on PBS that does family histories. I forgot his name.
Yeah, Henry Gates.
Right. And he goes all the way in. Unless we do
Yeah.
something like that, we have not come to the conclusion of the DNA lineage. And this is what I really want people to understand so that Lenon Honor can stop using this false statement as his reason to continue to drag myself and my family into his obviously profitable denunciations of my son and what he's doing. Now, if he wants to deal with my son one-on-one on this, do it. Stop using my name. Stop using my family. Stop using my dead wife. Stop using my advocacy in my community. Stop using my military time. Stop using everything that he knows about me in a negative way. I have talked to Lenon Honor online and offline. I have never insulted him, called him out his name, disrespected him or his family in any way whatsoever. And I'm extremely upset that at this point in time, in light of what's going on with my family, unfortunately, as public as it is with my son and his daughter, that this guy continues to use not only my son for bait, but also my family. I'm sure he can get enough views and clicks just from my son. He doesn't need me, and he doesn't need my family. I've reached out to some legal figures to ask them what can be done.
Okay, we have a little bit of technical issues. I think his phone went out, but he'll be back, guys. Once again,
I'm sorry.
he's back. Go ahead, sir.
I contacted YouTube about his inflammatory statements concerning me and my family. I've I'm going other avenues. I don't want to go all out on this guy. I don't know him. I don't have the relationship with him that a lot of you people who are on social media do. I'm not here to character assassinate him in any way. I don't know his history. I don't want to know his history. All I know is that my name is being dragged. My children, my grandchildren, and my great grandchildren are hearing this venom that he spews about their relatives, especially me. And to hear this and then to be told from their friends what they may have seen or heard on YouTube about their grandfather and their father is ridiculous. I don't have a stake in this thing. This is something that he needs to take up with my son and my son alone. Leave me out of it. Leave my family out of it. Leave my wife out of it. Leave my children out of it. And this is the message I want to get to him. I'm not, he plays tough guy. He says something like, well, I would tell him to his face. Well, Mr. Honor, I'm saying this to you direct, one gentleman to another. And I've said this to you in writing. I'm more than willing to come to where you are, meet you wherever you like, so we can resolve this issue. I'm saying this as a gentleman. I'm saying this as someone who's almost 70 years old. So don't come at me with that tough guy rah-rah stuff. I ain't for all that. But I want this to stop. I'm a father. I'm a family figure. I'm a staple of my community. I'm well known in my community. And I don't appreciate this. That's the message I really would like to get across to him in the most civilized, mature, and respectable way that I can.
Now we did talk about this. I have to go back and do my research on what Lenon. I've known Lenon to speak ill of you in many situations. I thought he stopped, and you made me aware that he continued to do so. So I got to go back and do my research, and on that, just because I had no idea. I mean, I'm not shocked that he would stoop that low. But we had this discussion, and I didn't. I thought I knew he was still talking about Umar, but as far as him disrespecting you as an elder, calling you the B word, and saying all of these ill things about you and denigrating yourself, your family, like you said, it's one thing to say things disparagingly about Umar, and obviously it's for economic reasons, but to bring the whole family due to his obsession with Umar is greatly unfair. I would like to know if you what is the have you been like the blame like when you talk about your family and people knowing about this, like how are they responding to you about this, like because obviously this has gotten you to the point where you feel like you have to talk about this, like has that been like the catalyst to triggering you to have to actually come out publicly? Is it because of the family response to you or Umar, or is it just something you felt like you had to do yourself?
This has been brought to my attention over the years, many times from family, from friends, from associates, and I basically try to just ignore it. I don't go on and look at him anymore until recently. And the only reason I did it recently was in light of what's going on now with my son and his daughter. Of course, I'm very concerned about that. And when I heard or saw that he was about to do something about it in a video, I wanted to see what he would say. And one of the first things he spoke of was me. And needless to say, it arose in me a hatred and a venom and sense fury about this guy because I'm watching all this, and I'm the father and the grandfather of the two people involved. But we also
Right.
have family. We have family. So all this stuff that's being put across the internet is being viewed by my family, my friends, my associates, and it's a freaking sideshow that shouldn't be happening. Umar can handle his business his way. This is what he does. This is his realm of notoriety. Then let it be so. I don't have any desire to have that. I don't have any desire. My children don't have any desire. You know, people keep saying, well, where's Umar's family at? Well, Umar's family is not trying to be a part of this mess. You know, Umar handles this on his own way in his own time. And even as it pertains to my granddaughter, she's grown. If she chooses to do what she does, then so be it. She has the right. But no one has the right to drag other people into this that have nothing to do with it, that have said nothing about it, and that just want to be left alone.
Okay. So really what you're telling me, this has been ongoing for years.
Years,
Like he
years,
never really
years,
stopped talking about you.
years.
Okay. See, I'm gonna be honest, and because I literally stopped watching Lenon Honor years ago when I was doing the content, kind of focusing on him and all these other people. I literally stopped, and it just was. I just felt it wasn't a healthy thing because it was then I don't know if you're aware, but he stopped doing YouTube videos for a while too, for like 6 to 8 months. Then he came back, and then he started doing. I don't know what he talked about. He has a Patreon that he was doing Umar content. I don't know if he spoke of you and
Well, let
Umar
me
and your.
say this. Let me inject. Let me inject something.
Yeah, go ahead.
In one of his videos, he was showing some content on an upcoming documentary he's about to do about my son. And he has a portion in there for about at least about 15 to 20 minutes about me, solely about me, which I think is totally inappropriate. I mean, he comes across like he's some licensed, and maybe he is a licensed therapist or
No, he's not. He's
psychologist.
not. He is not. Lennon
Well,
Honor does not have a degree in he. I don't even know if he got the degree in cybersecurity that he claimed he just recently graduated with over a year ago. Lennon Honor is not a mental health professional.
well, as
Lennon
you
Honor,
know, I'm sure you agree, he comes across as though he can do a profile on people and tell,
he, and
all these
I
different.
criticized him for that. I've criticized him for that. He cannot do that. He is not a. He actually have on his website of him being sort of a dating coach, fatherhood consultant, and all this other mess that he is not. Matter of fact, Lennon Honor caused harm to a young lady who was who was sexually abused by her father, and she actually emailed me years ago about the negligence that he produced and trying to get her through that, and that was beyond his understanding, education that he doesn't have, and skills. And she knew something was wrong with Lennon Honor, and she paid like $100 an hour to talk to Lennon Honor. And this is facts.
Well,
Um,
well, let me say again, I need to inject this again. This is not, I'm not here to bash Lennon Honor.
but he's
I'm not
done that.
here.
I know that for a fact.
Okay.
This is I know a fact that he did it. This is factual. You
Okay.
don't have
I'm
to
saying
stop to
I'm
get
only
this.
speaking, I'm only speaking for myself.
Okay.
I'm not here to bash him. I'm not here to insult him. I'm not here to threaten him. I'm
Right.
here to say that everybody in this country has a right to privacy. And it makes no sense to continue to think that it's appropriate to drag family members into this just by the fact that possibly they may have ejected themselves online a few times, but not in the current situation that's going on right now. And like I said, he has no reason to think that I would try to hurt him or try to harm him or his family in any way, because I never ever came across like that. And I'm not coming across like that now. I'm just saying, give my family respect that you want your family to have, because I'm sure his family has been harassed by people in the past on the internet. Well, I don't want that for me and my family. And as a father and a grandfather, I definitely don't want to sit back and watch the names of my children or my dead wife or my family members put across on his platform repeatedly with charts. I mean, I've seen his charts, and I mean, this guy puts extensive time into my son and his family and everything else. I don't know where in the world he has the time to do all this, but he does. And I don't know if he's obsessed or what. I'm not trying to say he is, but I have not seen this type of time put in on my son from anybody. And all the years my son has been a public figure. And all I'm asking, and I am asking at this point that he
Right.
stop, that he stop. Concentrate on Umar if that's what you choose to do, which I really would wish he don't do that. But if he chooses
Right.
to, so be it. But leave me and my family out of this.
Okay. Um. Because I was not again I'm as far as the repetitiveness of what he was doing. See, I thought things the times that I have heard Lenon Honor speak of you, which is very limited. I haven't heard him speak on you in actually a few years. I didn't know that he was the extent that you're telling me goes beyond you. He's talking, and I know, and I'm not even talking about the present day stuff but it seems like to me he's talking about you, the whole family, and it's to me it's beyond what I would have ever thought, because I thought he just limited to you and Umar because you were online, Umar is online, but it's a lot more extreme than I would have ever had thought, and so. Has anybody like encouraged you to do something? Like, did you like decline? Like, I understand you just kind of ignored it, but were people asking you to do something about this years ago? Like, were they kind of pressuring you,
Yes,
or
yes,
okay?
yes. And
So
I did not do it because I didn't want him to feel that it was a personal attack with him and I. And I thought over time maybe he would minimize me in reference to his statements and anything else that he might have put online. But he hasn't. Instead, it appears to have increased because he somehow wants to somehow attach me to everything that my son does.
right.
And I mean, to do that in such a despairingly way on a consistent basis, just to get people to look at you, I don't understand it. I truly don't understand it.
Well, unfortunately, I mean, and I don't want to get into the because I'm handling this, and my decorum interacting with you is quite different than what I would typically do in the entertainment aspect of what I do. I'm as I know you're a very serious man. I have a lot of respect. I have the utmost respect for you. So I'm not trying to go into my usual content creation banter as it relates to Lenon Honor, but the reason why Lenon Honor is doing this is because this is what Lenon Honor has to do to make a. I'm not saying, listen, and I'm not, listen, I know you're not trying to, you're basically coming to him as a man to say, this is me asking you respectfully. But this guy has no achievements. You know, this man needs this to make money. Like, this is a guy that if he didn't have YouTube, he would probably be homeless. And I'm not saying that to be funny or he has no life accomplished. This man went a decade without working, and those are facts, with 5 children. Okay, so when he found something that he could make money by not literally doing real work, this is all he knows, Jamal. And I'm trying to kind of paint a picture of why he's been so repetitive with this is because he has no other tangible skills in the marketplace that would allow him to comfortably take care of his children. And he's attempted to work in the tech field, which obviously didn't work for him, and other things. And unfortunately, he's victimized your family by holding on to something that people actually pay him to do. And he doesn't care about the collateral damage that he has produced through speaking ill of you and your other family members, not considering how other people who are non-related to the YouTube environment are affected by the things that he's saying, and he doesn't care. So that to me, and other people that they've been saying this about Lenon Honor for years. This is what he does to make a living because he has no other skills. So unfortunately, And listen, that doesn't excuse what he did, but that's just
Right.
the fact.
And I want to inject something very quickly in his space real fast. I just want to bring something up that he keeps speaking of. He spoke about a time when I got on the internet and I said to my son via the internet that he was dead to me. And I wanted to express something. I love my son very much. I love all my children very much. My children are proud fathers, mothers. They are successful. Some of them has gone their way. Other ones have gone another way. The bottom line is they are their own people. But at no time would I sit here and say that I have hatred for my son. Unfortunately, that was a time of mental distress. My mother had just passed. I had heard something that I thought was a reliable source about my son in reference to my mother, and I stated what I stated based on what I was told. My son has since said that was not true, and I can't do anything but give him my sincere apology for making such a statement. But Lenon Honor has pounced upon that statement repeatedly, and I want people to know that statement was made out of duress. It was during the time of my mother's death, and I totally, for just simple English, take it back. I take it back totally. And I would never, and I will never, do anything to harm any of my children, including my son. So what people interpret as bashing is not bashing. I'm still a man. I still live in my community. And if my community is affected by something, no matter who it is, I want to try to find out what's going on. So at the point that I was saying what I was saying, other than that, that's what it was about. That's what it's always been about. Whether, it's money, whether it's a school, no matter what it is. I'm just another black man in this country who wants the best for our people. And when I don't see it happening, or no matter who's doing it, it's just in my nature to address it.
Okay. So, at this point, like I know I talked to you. We had our discussion, and I talked to you about some of the options. You said that you have sought and filed some things and so forth, but also there are ways in which those videos can be taken off YouTube and they can be flagged and putting his channel in. And I know this is not typically because you're not a content creator. You don't want, but I'm going to say this just as me because of our relationship with each other. I'm going to do my due diligence as it relates to, people that the sentiments that are in the chat right now is that, we are not happy with Lenon Honor. And some people know that Lenon Honor do this. Some of them watch him. They have people, they have some of his supporters in here that I've actually timed out and blocked because they're saying things that are insensitive to you. And I'm not having that type of party right now. That's not what I'm doing. This is a serious affair. This is something that is beyond YouTube. This is actually something that is affecting your family. And I would ask for everybody to be a goddamn adult and be respectful to this man. This is an elder, and he deserves the respect. And I'm not tolerating disrespect. But those particular videos need to be sought out. They need to be flagged. We need to get those videos deleted and taken off of YouTube, because as long as those videos are circulating, your family can be exposed to those videos. Okay. And then if we create a environment where he understands that there will be a backlash or a consequence to him doing that, then that would also increase the likelihood of him not speaking of you. You know what I'm saying? Like speaking of you or anyone else in your family that really is none of our business, or it's again, like you said, we can relegate this strictly to Umar. That's something different. But when it comes to you or others, that should not be his business. And I think that that's totally distasteful for him to go to that route. And to be honest with you, these guys like him, they have there's no depths that they wouldn't go to get a story or to get a trigger, unfortunately, Mr. Jamal. But those are the things that could be done. You know, that's the criminal justice system that you can file, like you stated you've done, and so forth. I would suggest maybe even filing a restraining order if you could do that. You can potentially do that, but also in the realm of YouTube, strike his channel, get those videos taken down, and probably get his channel taken down for that. And that has happened before.
Let me say this.
This is something that has happened to people who've talked crazy about your family members and so forth. They have suffered this same scenario. So that he's not immune from that.
Well, I'm not trying to bring any type of. I'm really not trying to do any of that. I want to stop what I'm doing now, okay? Because the bottom line is, I'm hoping that I can deal with him as a man to man, as a gentleman. I know he's younger than me, okay? He's old enough to be my son.
Right.
But the bottom line is, you know, respect is due. And you cross the line when you start repeatedly, even if you say rest in peace, you keep mentioning my dead wife's name. And that's a stab in my heart because you don't know her. You don't know anything about her. You know, you made claims that I did something in reference to her and my granddaughter, which is totally a lie. But, you know, the thing is this, there has to be a limit. And I hear people on here accusing people, threatening people, you know, a lot of violence involved. Look, I ain't trying to go down like that. But at the same time, we need to have some kind of decorum. And I don't get on here and talk about him. No one can ever say they've ever heard me talk about him or his family in any way. And I know there's a lot of disparaging things on the internet about him and his family. But I've never said anything about it. I've never said anything about him and his family. Never. And I never will. There's no reason for me to do that. But at the same time, he's got to respect me as the father of my family, my extended family. And he has to realize that people are looking at us through the prism of what he says. And people who are not aware of us, that don't know us, take anything he says as face value. And it's not respectful. It's not proper. So I'm just asking him to stop this. And I am asking for him to stop this immediately. I ain't even asking him to apologize. All I'm asking him to do is stop it. Just stop it. And go forth on the subject matter that you deal with and just leave me and mine out of it, including that long part that you put on that's supposed to be in your upcoming documentary about me. People don't need to know about me. People that know me know about me.
So let me ask this question. So basically, the fact that he is planning, you want that little whatever section is about you, you want that taken out the documentary.
Anything that relates to me or my family in any way, shape, or form, I'm asking him to please stop it now. Concentrate on your primary subject. I'm sure Umar will handle his business. We don't want to have anything to do with this mess.
Right. Legally speaking, I don't know how to. I mean, basically, if he does, there probably are other avenues of legal processes that you can take if he does come out with this. But I do appreciate that you've come in peace. You just saying, listen, you're not coming to threaten. You're not coming in an aggressive tone. You're being civil about it. And you're hoping that he can, show some civility and take heed to what you're saying and be respectful and stop doing this type of content and don't add you all in addition to Umar in his content or his documentaries or whatever projects that he has. So I don't know. The ball is in his court at this point. And so it's up to you, Lenon Honor, to actually show some decency for once in your life and not add this man and his family and Umar's relatives into this, because, there's a difference between somebody being a figure, a content creator, and you're just limited into that. But when you're adding innocent people who don't know you, don't understand this environment, now it's going a bit deeper than what it should be. And you should be held to justice for what you're doing. So we're asking you, Lenon, respect. I know you don't like me. I know you don't care, whatever. And I know you watch, and I've seen some of your people in here who are going to send you the link and all this other different stuff and things like that. But action will be taken against you. And I'm going to say right now, if I find content that you're doing, I'm going to flag your channel. And I'm not trying, this has nothing to do with you. This is just typically just out of respect. Like you're coming to him because I remember when y'all felt, the little situation where he came at you totally different. This man is not an honorable man. This man is a guy who does anything to make money. And you've been respectful to him despite all the things that he said. So if he don't get it now, whatever steps that you take after this, then he's just going to have to deal with those consequences. Because again, I stopped watching him. I don't pay attention to him. I thought he stopped. I didn't see I don't know why he is still talking about you, or whatever. I don't get it, but I will personally, and I will galvanize other people to personally take down that content that has nothing to do, content that should not be targeting, because you're being targeted and harassed. That's really what you're actually going through, cyber harassment. He's harassing you, and he's harassing your family, and he should be, held accountable for that. And so I'm going to basically, along with myself, seek those videos out, and I'm trying to get those videos taken down, because we don't, like, you're telling me several, it sounds like to me, this is multiple family members and friends and everybody. Like, who wants to live in their basic life, their regular life, and have people stopping you saying, I saw this in the feed. This guy named Lenon Honors called you a B word or said this about somebody. This man is widowed. We don't know the grieving that he may be going through, which is none of our business. But you need to take account of, when you do these things, you take accountability of how this lingers to other people and how this affects them. No one wants to hear another man speak on their deceased spouse and you know nothing about them. That is low of the low. And only for you to get subscribers and viewers and little, minimal cash outs. That's ridiculous. You're not going to monetize somebody's family and disrupt their life because you choose not to work. So that's the position I'm coming from, Jamal. Again, this is separate from you, but I'm like, again, when you first told me this, I was appalled. I still am. And you will in your right to take criminal action, legal action against him. And also, when he releases this, if he chooses not to listen to you, and he releases a digital content that can also be used against him. That content that he had, anything that he does in the past and from this point on, can be used against him. So it seems like to me you don't want it to go to, you just want him to stop.
That's right.
But I'm gonna be honest. Huh?
That's all I'm asking. You
asking him to stop. So Lenon, he's asking you to stop. So if you don't stop, then you will have to deal with those consequences. And that, I think that's fair to say. So is there anything else, brother, that you want to get off your mind? The floor is yours. I'm just, at this point, just kind of things is running through my mind, as it relates to this. But it's unfortunate because, like I said, I'm not subscribed to the brother. I haven't listened to Lenon Honor content in ages. Every now and then I may see a feed of it. I may tune in probably a couple minutes and see again something about Umar, and then I leave. That's basically what I have done in the last 2 or 3 years. That's it. Every now and then, maybe every 2 or 3 months, I may see something. I may tap in for about a minute or two, and then I leave. That's it. So I don't know the extent of what he's been saying about you and your family, but obviously it has caused an effect, and that needs to be he needs to be held accountable for that.
Well,
So
I wanted him to understand that this has caused me, especially over the last couple of weeks, a lot of anguish, a lot of distress, a lot of anxiety, and sure, a lot of anger. But I also wanted to be understood by him and those who follow him. I'm in no way attacking him. I'm not disparaging him or his family. I'm not saying anything negative about them or him except what he's doing. That's all I'm limiting this to. This has nothing to do with my son and the way in which he chooses to address what my son does or doesn't do. My son can handle that on his own. This is about me and my family. And again, Lenon, you know I have never ever disrespected you or your family. And I'm asking you for the same respect back.
okay, well, I think at this point you have made your perspective. You've I think and you handled yourself with class as it involves this, and I hope that this doesn't fall on deaf ears and you move forward. I mean, and he listens, and this can be ended. Unfortunately, Jamal, and I'm not trying to be negative about it, because of the fact that he does this for a living. I don't think he is going to listen to anything. And I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just being, because this is how he makes his money, and he doesn't care. But I hope he may have the decency to at least, keep your name out of it, or any family member that you have or that's associated to Lenon Honor. I hope that he will have the ability to restrain from that. So we'll see. We'll see. And so that's where I'm coming from with this. And again, I'm going to reinforce others that are in support of you and your family that there's things that we can do that is again separate from you. You're not asking anybody to do this. You really don't want. You kind of mentioned you don't really want out. You just want him to stop. But we understand that that's probably not going to happen. But if
He doesn't, let me say this: if he doesn't, I want you to know there will not be a follow-up video. I'm not going
that's
to get
good.
caught. I'm not going to get caught up in this morass of all this YouTube stuff that goes on. Whatever
Right,
he
right.
says, he says. But as long as he does know that I've reached out in a way that I think is mature, intelligent, and responsible, and if he can't reach back, at least with his actions in that way, then I guess I'll just have to find some other means. But I don't want to bring any kind of stress upon him or his family. I don't want to talk about this again publicly. I'm hoping that this will be it, and that he will move on with whatever his main topic is, and then that person will deal with him on that level.
Right. Um, I hope so too. But I don't think he will. And I'm pretty sure he's probably had his flunkies, which I see a few of them in here now, that probably sent him this email or sent him this video, and I hope he don't respond. I hope he will show some class and take heed to what you're saying and do the right thing. But I don't know. All I can say is we'll wait and see what happens on that. That's all I can say. And again, if he doesn't, then you'll take whatever steps you need to take, and then we'll let that process, kind of take course, and then whatever the outcome is, what the outcome is.
Well, I appreciate you letting me get the message out, and I hope it
Okay.
comes. I hope that it results in what I'm trying to do. Nothing
Okay.
more. Nothing more. Nothing more. I don't want this to become a part of the ridiculous stuff that I see on the internet. And if it
Okay.
does, I hope that somebody will put in there that that was not my goal. It's not my goal to in any way bash Lenon Honor. No way. Or his family. In no way. No way. I'm just asking
Right.
that he leaves my family alone and
Right.
me.
He needs to leave your family alone. And see, I had no idea. Like I really, when you told me this, I really had no idea. Um, I had no idea that it was to this effect. I just thought he stopped with that and just did his typical Umar videos as usual. Um, for some reason, he's fixated on what kind of from what I've heard before in the past about what kind of father like you had, like you were the reason Umar turned out this, like like whatever. And I know you don't want to hear that type of stuff. You don't know what he's talking about, and he's in no position to be criticizing anybody. You know,
I'm
you
sure
know.
everybody can find something in other people's lives if they look hard enough. I'm sure that especially those of us who have been fortunate enough to live this long, like I have, I'm sure that we definitely have some dirt behind us. But at the same time, I am not his main focus. So why are you talking about me? And if you are so intellectually inclined, but yet not certified to do profiles on people as far as their psychological makeup, then why don't you leave it to that person and leave their family out of it? I'm sure you can get enough content just with that. And I mean that seriously, because this does no service to me. It does no service to you or your family to sit here and continue to drag my name and my family in the mud because of whatever my son might be doing or might not be doing. Let's be gentlemen about this, Lenon. I'm asking you again. I'm using the word ask. Nobody's over here beating their chests. I'm asking you again. Just leave me and my family out of your future presentations. I would really, really appreciate it. I have
Right,
nothing
right.
else to say, man. I have nothing else to say.
Okay, sir. So I guess that's your last words, and if you want to drop down or whatever, that's up to you. I think you've kind of conveyed what you needed to, and then we'll let everything take its course.
Thank you.
All right. You have a great day, sir.
You too.
All right. Guys, man, y'all won't let me rest, man. Y'all have made listen, again, guys, I'm speechless right now. I am speechless right now. I don't know if I should drop the link and get. I could make. I'm not going to do a long live stream again because I just did a 6 hour live, and guys, y'all saw that I did a 6 hour live, and that was exhausting in itself. Um, and what I was planning on doing for the rest of the night was maybe watching some TV, checking out the March Madness, um, getting ready for work. I have a busy day next week. Um, but I'm gonna go ahead and um, if anybody has a comment, let me know. If no one has a time, I'm gonna go ahead and end this live stream. But again, this is the ball is in your court, Lenon Honor. The ball is in your court. This man has come to you out of respect, and I hope you can find it and be a decent human being for once in your life, and quit harassing these people that have done you literally nothing. Umar has literally done nothing to you. Um, um, and I'm just looking at the live. I've seen people in here talking crazy. I'm not gonna name their names, and they got timed out. We're not gonna be in here disrespecting brother Jamal at all. But Yeah, I'm gonna probably go ahead and end this live stream, and this will be up for review. And for those that want to review and share this video, you can. I know this is probably going to be circulated because Brother Jamal used to be a staple on my channel years ago, and then he stopped. But this is out of hand, man. And to be honest, guys, um, yeah, see, people don't understand that when you put out content, there's a responsibility. And people have family members, people have wives, they have kids, they got uncles, aunts, family. This man said Lenon Honor spoke ill of his wife. You spoke ill of this man's, deceased wife. So this is what I'm gonna do, guys. I'm gonna say this, and this is gonna be the rule. And if you don't follow my rule, it's just whatever happens, happens. I'm gonna drop the link, and I'm gonna ask that you not speak ill. I'm not going to accept anybody speaking ill of Jamal or his family. I'm not going to allow anybody to blame or do anything disparaging about the Umar's family, Jamal, or anything like that. I'm not going to accept anybody talking about themselves or something crazy. That I may deem is not necessary. You will be kicked off, and don't take it personal. Okay. I'm gonna give it like 15 minutes, and then I'm gonna log the hell off because I've been live long enough today. I basically had like a 45-minute break. The brother was gonna go. I thought he was gonna come on my show early, and he didn't. So this is where I'm at with it. So I'm gonna allow people to speak. I'm gonna give you 10, 15 minutes, and then I'm logging off. Okay.
Good. Hey, DERELL, that was a good interview. I did not know Omar's father was still circling on the internet.
He's not. He really doesn't. He came back like he said. His family members were wondering why when they watch YouTube they see a person by the name of Lenon Honor talking about their family. So he stopped watching YouTube. He literally was being told this by family members who watch YouTube, and they found that this guy Lenon Honor is constantly speaking of him and the family. So that's what led him. And I know the situation going on with Umar's daughter kind of was a catalyst to this, but that's the reason why he decided to do this interview.
It's funny because you mentioned the brother Honor, right? And I know people will reference him lately because of the daughter and Omar. And I saw one live stream of him. And personally, bro, because you talk about this dude for the last couple of years, I'm not really impressed for any content creator that's only focused on one particular individual and make a life, make a living, make streams after streams. I think that's out of character. Especially if you put out information that it is, let's say if it's true or not, you should not be making channels making money off that. Because one thing that's happening now, you got to keep going. And what's going to happen is you're going to go at some in the person's family, meaning you're going to go at Omar's father, whoever, and try to point the fingers of the actions of one man that your whole purpose of the channel was supposed to be on him. Why are you attacking the mother of Dr. Omar? I mean, the mother and father. That shows you the integrity that you're doing this beyond money. You're doing this just to get that actual, what do you call it? That buzz, that adrenaline. You know, come remember your character, and remember he showed himself on his face. Do I? And not one person really criticized or questioned him doing that. So it seemed that people really not only hate Omar, because we don't like him, but now you going at his father and then putting out information where people get back to his father, because his father has lived, be out here in the world living, and to find that this is on the internet is a slap in the face. I'm surprised he still have a channel like that, because usually if you go and attack somebody really that you don't know, they can actually have your video removed. Like literally, if you're making channels like that, there is some rules for YouTube. You can't constantly do that. He said his channel. I remember one time you tried to go at him, bro, and you lost your main channel. You almost had 5K subscribers, but they still kept this dude. Very questionable YouTube. Very questionable, bro.
Very.
Something not right here. Yeah, you're gonna have to do something about that, because real truly, I mean that's unacceptable.
So what's going on, Seth Marie? Your thoughts?
What's up? Hey, what's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
And DERELL, look
Hey,
at the
man,
back chat.
okay, go ahead. Don't interrupt me, but go ahead. Finish it.
No, DERELL, I'm gonna write some. Just looking back chat. Go ahead, speak up, bro.
Okay.
Lenon Honor needs to be let's say he needs to be careful and he needs to be respectful. I agree with Mr. Jamal. He's an elder and he deserves the utmost respect. Lenon Honor has been a snake. Back in like 2011, years ago, he tried that with Professor Griff of Public Enemy, and it was not pretty. Griff, in his humble way, told him straight up, "You trying to come at me sideways, saying I'm this and I'm that, I'm gay, whatever," and he came at him pretty hard. Lenon got scared out of his boots, almost crapped in his pants. So much so that he had an open panel where him and Professor Griff talked on the phone, and he put it on internet because Griff, in his way, told him, "Hey, brother, you're telling these bold-faced lies on me. You've been at the other rappers, and you need to stop." And he stopped immediately what Griff did, And like I said, I don't want to get to that point, but he is trending on thin ice with all his content that has nothing, that has been personal. And he's attacking elders, which I do not like, and telling bold-faced lies for content and clout, because he got his own problem with his own wife and 5 kids. Because I know where he lived when he lived in San Diego and San Diego, and I used to be a subscriber of his for about 5 years. He was on my top 20. But I said this brother is struggling, but he's a family man. But found out he never worked. He was begging and pleading for money. He even had that fake thing with his son, saying his son had cancer. His 5-year-old son had cancer, and all that, which was which was not true. And to get money and get $10,000, I was about to donate to him, and I told him to leave this Umar stuff alone. But he's hard headed. He wants to trying to trend. He want him to act like he's hard, saying he got blood power and all that crap. Dude, you're not hard. Not only that, you need to be respectful to the elders and respectful to the content. You need to get off this Umar stuff completely. You once had a respectable channel, now you don't. That's pretty much what I got to say. He needs to, just be respectful and, and do like Mr. Jamal said, and I just hope he gets off of it totally. He needs to.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else, guys? I mean, if it's because I don't want to. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I'm really a little exhausted, so I'm not trying.
No. I was surprised you were gonna do this interview, because I have not heard about Dr. Omar's father in a while.
This was at his request, so I'm only doing this because he requested, and I didn't want to not do it, but I did it only because he requested. Because I actually thought we were going to do something else, but he requested that this be live, and so.
Okay.
Because of who he is and my relationship with him, I chose to extend myself. I don't usually do stuff like this because of our relationship, and I've been knowing him for over 5 years, 6 years now. I decided to, only very few people could call me and ask me to go live so they can talk. There's not many people that can do that, but he's one of them. So that's why I decided to do it.
Okay.
So,
Yeah,
guys,
thank you.
that
Thank
being
you.
said, you all kind of gave your perspective. Again, you know, the ball is on your court, Lenon. I know you don't care less about me. I don't care. You know, I care less what you think about me. This is not something that was set up and orchestrated to cause. No, this was very a spontaneous live that came from just a few text messages about an hour or so prior to this, and then we decided to go live to have this discussion. So that's where we at with it, guys. Again, guys, for those that are in the chat, those watching in the clouds, you're free to share this video, do content on it, take you wherever you think it needs to go as it relates to this message to Lenon Honor. And then I hope that the best can come from this. As far as Lenon honoring what Jamal wants, and we can move on. He can do. We know you're not going to stop doing Umar videos. That's fine. But brother, just leave the man. You don't want anybody talking about your family and your kids. So you quit talking about other people's family and so on. Okay. All right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, man. I wish everybody a great day. Again, this is DERELL. Y'all have a great day. Peace.